Saga Blackwell, has been addressing the media a while ago on that matter. He says that the NDC will descend heavily on President Akufo-Addo if Kweku Rafik, as his social media account is known as, is not released in the next 24 hours.
Seth Asiedu has been in a Gestapo-style raid, arrested this dawn at about 3:30 a.m., where he lives, somewhere in Amasaman. He was bundled into a national security vehicle. It appeared to have been a joint operation between the national security, officials of the Signals Bureau of the National Security Council, and the Ghana Police Service, according to eyewitnesses. And these eyewitnesses include the parents of Mr. Asiedu. It is important to emphasize that during the Gestapo raid, there was no evidence of a search warrant. His rights were not read to him, and he was just bundled. His rights violated. As we speak, we do not know where the gentleman is. We must commend his father, who, despite the horrendous circumstances, he mustered the courage to accompany them. His father accompanied them in the van, and they arrived at a location in Labone. We have since, upon receiving frantic calls, gone to that location. It turns out that is the Signals Bureau of the National Security Council at Labone. We demanded to speak to the official in charge. We did hold a meeting with the director in charge of the Signals Bureau. He told us that they only provided technical support and that they have the expertise in tracking down people who they believe have put out social media posts that, in his words, are of interest to the state, whatever that means. We demanded to see our comrade and colleague. The official told us that he has since been transferred to the police CID headquarters in Accra. We subsequently proceeded to the police CID headquarters. To our utter shock, all the officials we met at the police CID told us that they have no knowledge of the said arrest, of the operation, and that they are not aware that Mr. Asiedu is being held by any unit under the Ghana Police Service. Indeed, the police CID made calls in our presence. They called their colleagues in various departments and units under the Ghana Police Service. After all those calls, they told us that none of their colleagues know about the arrest and the detention of Mr. Seth Asiedu. Based on these frightening, worrying, and very distressing developments, we have been compelled to call this press conference because we know that what oppression, what tyranny fears is sunshine, is transparency. Once we expose the shenanigans, the underhand dealings, and the outright oppression of innocent civilians, we know that those agents and assigns of this heartless, undemocratic Akufo-Addo regime will be forced to produce our comrade and colleague.
It's not only the Northern MP that's concerned about this. Lawyer for the social media activist, Sami Jemfi, says the family of his client is still in the dark over where Seth Asiedu is being kept. He adds that no search warrant was secured by the security agencies to search his room and also carry out the arrest.
I was contacted early this morning and informed about the arrest, the Rambo-style arrest of Kweku Rafik, or our comrade Seth Asiedu. And so I went to the office of the National Signal Bureau at Laboni, just around where the old Metro TV network is located. I went there not only in my capacity as a comrade of Seth or Kweku Rafik, but in my capacity as a legal practitioner, and offered pro bono, legal services for our colleague Kweku Rafik. And so we demanded to see him as lawyers for him. But to our utter shock and dismay, as Honorable Ablako has already said, the Signals Bureau told us that they didn't have him and could not produce him. And we were specifically directed to the office of the Director General of the CID. That was a specific official we were directed to by the National Signals Bureau. We went there. She was not at post. Her deputy was also not at post, but the Director of Administration and other senior police officers were at post. And after listening to us, they made queries, but all the officers and departments they contacted informed them that they knew nothing about the said operations or the arrest, and that they didn't know the whereabouts of our brother Seth Asiedu. So even before we talk about the immediate release of Seth Asiedu, for me as a lawyer, okay, the first thing we are interested in is his whereabouts. Seth Asiedu has to be found. His parents, loved ones are very worried. We don't know where he's being kept and how he's being treated. We don't know whether he has even eaten. We don't know whether he's being tortured. We don't know what they have done to him, whether he's been assassinated. We don't know. So it behoves on the CID and the national security apparatus to tell us, for starters, the whereabouts of Mr. Seth Asiedu. As his lawyers, we deserve to know that, so that we can offer him the needed legal representation and services. Because we've been told by the official we met at the National Signals Bureau that they have started questioning him. How can you start questioning a suspect without giving him access to his lawyers? That clearly is unconstitutional. And what we are most disgusted, by is the style of the arrest. Honorable Ablako has said the Gestapo style of the arrest, because this is a constitutional democracy governed by the rule of law. Citizens and all persons in the country have rights, and so does every arrested person. When he was arrested at about 3:30 a.m. this morning, he was not told the offense for which he was being arrested. His rights were not read to him. The police did not produce any search warrant to ground the search they conducted in his house and in his room. Neither did they produce any court order, to justify the seizure of his phone. And so everything that has been done from the beginning of his arrest till now is patently unconstitutional and unlawful, and amount to a violation of the fundamental human rights of our client, Seth Asiedu. And so, speaking in my capacity as a lawyer, we want to call on the IGP, George Dampare, and the Director General of the CID, that they have been named, their outfits have been named by the National Signals Bureau of National Security as the ones who are currently holding Mr. Seth Asiedu. And so we want to see him. We want to know how he's doing. We want to know how he's being treated. We want to offer him legal representation and legal services. They should give us access. They should at least tell the parents where he is, so that we can even know what offense he has been cautioned for, or he has been charged with, or for what offense they are holding him. That is very, very important. And so we condemn in no uncertain terms the unlawful arrest and detention of Mr. Asiedu. And we are calling, like I said, on the IGP and the Director General of the CID. I'm told she's new, DCOP Faustina Jewa Kudria Ando Kufie. Madam, this is not how to start off as the Director General of the Criminal Investigations Department. And we expect better from you. And so let us know. If you are holding the gentleman, let us know so that we can have access to him. If you are not holding him, then the national security must let us know so that we know what to do as his lawyers. Because we are all very, very worried.